Yes, my name is Rivera. Like you, I've had issues with my name, but everyone who can't pronounce Rodolfo calls me Rudy. Conflict resolution in everyday life. We see so much of it, don't we? We see people battling with emotion. We see people being pretentious. Did you ever negotiate with somebody who thinks God is on their side? I remember being in a taxi in Costa Rica, and the taxi driver has a radio loud with a preacher preaching damnation and hell. And I said, by the way, are the people from India going to go to hell? He said, absolutely. And they're not even going to have a passport. I said, why? Because they're not Christian. And that was an emotional argument for him, not based on any facts. So let's look at today. What do you see? You see everyone being pretentious because everyone feels that they have the right answer. But when you stop to think about it, do we really disagree? Are we focusing on the area of conflict and not the areas of commonality? And if you approach a situation, whether it's at work, whether it's your neighbor who's mad at you because the grass is on his side or you put the fence on his side, if you focus on what you have in common, then maybe you're wondering why you fight. And if there's even a reason for fighting. Somebody once said, feelings are neither right nor wrong, they're just feelings. And often people argue from what they're feeling and not necessarily logic. So I come to you today as a lawyer for a number of years, and I thrive on conflict. I love it. In fact, sometimes when I settle a case, I think, well, I just kissed my grandmother, that wasn't fun. Sometimes I want to fight when my client fidelity wants to settle. But notwithstanding, there's always a good reason to try to settle, to try to find commonality, to try to avoid the disputes. Let me give you a good example. What's one of the things you should do when you're discussing something, especially that's heated with somebody else? What are one of the things you want to do?
Breathe.
Pardon?
Breathe.
Well, yeah, especially if you're going to argue with the KKK or the Icebreaker, you want to breathe and you want to have an exit, right? Well, what do you think you want to do? Put yourself in their shoes.
Oh.
Okay? Picture that they're a pair of shoes and somebody else is in there. Why do they think that way? What is it that brings them to that thought pattern? The better you understand that, the better you are going to be able to confront them, to talk about it. Never say you are wrong, because believe me, that's going to end the conversation right there. You are wrong. God is on my side. You are wrong. And you're all going to burn in hell. You know, I'm a retired Catholic. And I'm hoping that I have enough quarters in like Social Security that when I get there, I can have a path there. But we'll see. That remains to be seen with St. Peter's. There aren't many lawyers in heaven. We'll see how many we can find. But put yourself in their shoes and find out why. Don't ever say that you're wrong. Say, I don't really understand. I respect your opinion. Could you please explain to me where I'm wrong? Can you please explain to me what I'm not considering? And what does that do? That forces the person to relax a little bit. It brings the level of the conversation to perhaps a more intellectual than just an emotional one. Never argue when you're angry, because you will say things that you don't mean. And something that is more powerful than a punch in the face are words that hurt. You all know people who've been bullied. You know those words can traumatize somebody for life. So you sit there and choose your words carefully. And always try to understand that the person behind that mask is also a person with feelings. In your mind, they may be correct, they may be wrong, but they're still the feelings. And as the psychologist once said, they're neither right or wrong. But if you get to the issue of why they feel the way they do, perhaps that is a good way to come to a resolution. Because it may be that you're not really arguing. Immigration is a big issue right now. And I've had this discussion with a number of people because if I get emotional, I think our president is, well, you all know what I think of him. I had the pleasure, actually the fun, of sitting next to a Trump supporter at a cigar bar in Puerto Rico. And how much time do I have left? 1 minute. And I said to him, okay, let's see what we agree, what we don't agree on. He said, do you agree in border security? Yes, I agree in border security. Do you agree that people shouldn't sneak over? You know what, I happen to agree with that. And as we tallied everything that we agreed on, there's only one thing we didn't agree on, and that was the wall. But if we focused on the wall, rather than dealing with all the other issues that come about, you have a short conversation and you never get anything. Remember the expression, you get more flies with honey than shaking a stick at them? That is how you resolve conflicts. You try to find the commonality that you have with the other person. Try to reach consensus. You may not be happy all the time, but maybe you will leave with something. And as I bring these shoes here, put yourself in their shoes. Thank you.